Hello everyone, welcome to HT Waters Tarot. Today I'm going to be trying to do something a little different. This is going to be story time using the tarot. We'll see how that goes. I'm a author of a book, so I'm a writer, so this seemed like and I like to be a storyteller, so it seemed like a great marriage to that idea of something that happened to me recently and kind of a learning experience of what to do in certain circumstances. So the story time is this. I was driving my car and I was faced with a choice. And this was an interesting choice. There was someone behind me and it was dark and I was slowly turning off of the freeway. Where I live, there's not a lot of lights. And so it's dark and it's also, and you can hear my dogs in the background, sorry about that, but they're just having silly fun. My dogs are great. They're also used in symbolism with Hecate, which is a witchy goddess, and the energy is very much around me right now because I'm telling you this story based on my perspective and the nurturing but also warrior side of the feminine, the witchy side of feminine. So I'm driving my car and it's a powerful force. I'm driving my car and it's very dark out and I took this exit and I'm going around a curve, and you have to remember this is a pretty sharp curve, and it's, as I said, this is an on-ramp to a freeway. And as I'm driving around this curve, there are two lanes on this on-ramp, which is somewhat unusual, but it happens, right? There's two lanes on an on-ramp, and I'm in the far right, and as I'm going around the curve, because it's dark out, can't see very well, I'm slowing down, so I'm putting my brakes on. And I hear this noise behind me, someone honks. And oh my gosh, I'm like, why are you honking at me? There's another lane. And I look behind me and then he flashes his lights at me. And I'm probably going about 30 miles per hour for this off-ramp, which actually had a speed limit of about, I believe, 30 to 35 on it. So it's not like I was going super slow, but I had slowed down because it was dark. Anyways, he flashes my lights at me. So what was going through his mind? Nine of Pentacles. I'm tapping into their energy right now. So the Nine of Pentacles reversed in this case is someone who is materialistic and self-absorbed about what they're doing in their life. Okay, this is a lot of opinion here, but this is what I'm reading in the card, frankly. And why I'm bringing all of this is it's learning. So this guy decides that he needed to stay in the same lane as me, behind me, the whole way, when he could have easily passed me. So he's behind me. That's seen. He could have gone to his right and passed me, but yet he decided to remain behind me and honk his horn and flash his lights. And of course I slow down because my immediate reaction is, oh my gosh, what's going on here? Is there something wrong? And then I decide, okay, now I'm mad and a little pissed and a little annoyed that this guy thinks he's entitled. And guy I don't even know if they were female or male, frankly. He was in one of those really big black Suburbans with tinted glass, ego pervading. This is the energy I was feeling right now, actually. So why didn't he just pass me? But thinking of the Nine of Pentacles, the guy, it's all about appreciating what you have within the moment, upright. And so if you think about it reverse, it's a disappreciation of what you have at the moment. So he was annoyed with me for sure, yet he could have passed me. So this this just got my Hecate running, my witchy warrior female side of myself who's going, whoa, this guy's out of control. So once we get to the freeway, he's still behind me, so we're merging onto the freeway. He starts to pass me, but I keep my eyes forward because I'm not gonna give him any satisfaction that I acknowledge him. But then he gets right in front of me, and guess what he does? He starts to brake like this, and I'm like this, and I'm like, oh God, this guy is nutty. I'm not getting involved with this. So what do? I move forward and passed him over on the far side. So much so that my daughter in the car, yeah, Mom, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just getting away from the rage, and my own rage too, because I was not going to get involved with any of this. And I live in the United States, so you never know if someone is gonna get so crazy they pull something out of their a pew out of their glove compartment. My kids would make fun of me for saying pew, but I'm always concerned that it might trigger something on like YouTube and someone starts, I don't know, who knows? Yeah, I'm paranoid enough to know. Paranoia sometimes have some entities of truth to it, so I'd rather not engage in those entities, and I did use entities on purpose there. So this is what happened. So why I wanted to tell you this story, because it's profound on so many levels, because what it is, first of all, if you get engaged with someone who is not acting rationally, who is unhappy for whatever reason of things that are going on in their lives, and again, this is a perception from an analogy of this story that brings me forth to say this based on this card. I didn't arrange these cards this way. They came out this way. That was up, right, which is the choice. I made a choice. The Nine of Pentacles was reversed. But let's see if there's any other lessons or cards that wants to be revealed in. Yeah, the Hangman. The Hangman here is all about stagnation. So in order to move away from this person's drama, it took a spiritual reckoning. And I'm doing the Celtic cross here. So this came out not upright. And I think it's what it's reminding him is this is small stuff in the grand scheme of things. That if you think about what the Hangman represents, which is a spiritual awakening, even as a spiritual lesson, this is something that is to move it forward. You have to just take it for what it is on its face value and not read too much into it. But for me, the analogy is important because what I'm seeing here is some fundamental truths. So I'm going to continue on. Again, discernment. The Hangman also, just so you also know, when you do it across, it means that you're not reading it upright or down, upright or reversed. It's more of a balanced interpretation of the card underneath. But again, this is Nine of Pentacles. This represents the other driver. And he was in a form of stagnation when he was reading this. When he was behind me, he was not seeing the bigger picture. He was not seeing the other lane in which to pass me. He was in a sense of spiritual purgatory, not going forward, not going back. The Moon, yeah, this is all about illusions, and reversed, it's even more about more illusions. It's not the positive energy of the Moon. Nine of Swords reversed, which is interesting. This is in the past, and this is the release of energy. So we got out of it, right? And that was in the past. And the 10 of Swords, feeling like a martyr. Reversed, it's less of a martyr, and feeling like that you can release this. So these are the swords that are being released, and justice reversed. So there really was no justice here. You know, when you're in those situations, what you would really hope for is the other person would learn a lesson, but they obviously didn't. They stayed behind me until we got on the freeway, when they could have easily passed me because there were 2 lanes for him to pass. And it was a one-way road. There were 2 lanes going in the same direction. He could have absolutely passed me. So the 8 of Pentacles, yeah. So this is about this reading, that I am now using this to work through some issues, to see what I was trying to achieve in that given situation by not engaging. So this is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is enlightenment, logical reasoning. Again, my environment right now is going through that. But yeah, a little bit of free rent in my head with the 10 of Wands, because I've been thinking about this guy. But ultimately, and again, guy, it keeps saying guy, he probably wasn't a guy, but maybe he was female. I don't know. Sometimes the female energy can be full of stubbornness and inability to move forward. Yeah, but there's the ability to move forward. That's the balance. That's me not engaging. That's me saying that choice got me to this point, and this is how I move forward. So really fascinating story in my opinion. And I'm but 2 more cards just to get some other ideas about the analogy in the story, and some guardianship. I'm going to ask your guides, oracle cards, and maybe I can get some further advice about something that they can learn from, the collective can learn from this story. Just angels, spirit guides, that you can actually pass someone without getting angry and just move on and not take it. And that was my choice, to move away. So just so you have an image of what happened, I'm just going to take the initial cards representing us. And it's all energy, guys. It's not necessarily the physical us, but this was the energy encapsulated in the car. So we're here. When we entered the freeway, he went back, even though he could do it before, he went past me right here, and then past me, came in front of me and started to brake. And what did I do? I went 3 lanes over to get away from him. So I was in the far lane and he was left in the far right lane, and I was in the far left lane of the freeway, about 3 lanes over. And I just ignored him. I did not engage. I did not look at him, and he left me alone after that, which was nice. That was a positive from him. That was the, I still want to keep the 9 of Pentacles, but isn't that interesting? 9 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles reversed. 2 cards with 9 is the beginning of a completion stage, but the 9 of Pentacles reversed is more about, let me read what it means, so you guys get a sense of what that energy is like, because I think it is enlightening to this story. Yeah. Untrusting, impatience, frustration, yes, dissatisfaction. That was that other car. That energy, that person, that soul in that other car was all about dissatisfaction and frustration. But because he was stuck in that energy, he could not see a path forward. Very enlightening, right? This is all about the way we sometimes live our lives. And we want to get out to the chariot where we can see a path forward and we can find that balancing, okay? And this was my response too. Look at these 2 horses going in separate directions. That was my response to him, that energy. I said, no, I'm going to find my own path forward. In the end, this person, we both came out winners because we didn't engage, and there was no road rage outcome, which sometimes can be tragic. So this is all of those living life energies. So just gratitude, ask your guides. And these are ask my guides, ask your guides for answers. Something to learn from this. What can the collective learn from this? I'm just going to take a top card after I shuffle this, okay? Community, spiritual ancestors. Okay, so let's just read what this means. Your spiritual ancestors are gathering around you at this time, holding you in their light and connecting you with your spiritual family here on earth. Your soul is now seeking the kind of love and support that comes from being part of a right community, your people, so to speak. Not wanting you to feel isolated in any way, your ancestors hear your soul call and are presently guiding you towards kindred spirits. Yeah, so when I was in this situation, and obviously that's why I'm asking this, if this resonates with you, you can, obviously being part of this community is very beneficial. So this is all the storytelling I'm trying to achieve on my tarot channel right now, is to kind of create a community of like-minded individuals who may be interested in spiritual growth towards that enlightenment, using the tarot as a tool to get there. I'll continue to do pick a cards, but I like this story time idea, and I'm hoping you will too. So gathering together and learning from these stories and the lessons that we can perceive is really important. And one of the things I want to also bring out here is community is another guardian card, which is the Angels and Ancestors Guardian Oracle cards. I love these cards. They have a shaman feel to them for me, and I like that. So, spirit guides, something that the collective needs to know about this story. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. Yeah. So this is, again, all about getting to that point spiritually where disengaging from individuals who may be triggering you or frustrating you is really important. And the medicine woman, mother, the medicine mother, again, answering the idea of what a spiritual community and such. This is honoring your inner knowing. So this is, again, what I did when I was in that situation, was understanding that really not engaging is more important than letting Hecate, who's a beautiful energy, use that negative warrior energy to get in the way and engage in that. And we can learn from that in life, right? Take a deep breath. And the only thing, just not engaging. Take action, do what you know you need to do. Yeah. Mother always knows best. And in that time frame, that was one thing that, as I said, my daughter was in the car. So one of the things that I did in that moment was demonstrate to her the peaceful path forward, which was not to engage, because I felt that this irrational response by this person in that big suburban car, we're talking a big car, was something that I didn't want to be a part of it. Flashing lights, honking horns, staying in behind me when he could have easily gotten away. He could have just sped by, maybe in anger, but still, he could have had a response, an appropriate response to the circumstances. You never know what's going on in someone else's life. So setting up boundaries as soon as you see, and this is in daily life, setting up boundaries as soon as you see someone acting in a way that you consider irrational and you can't appreciate as matching your energy, that's when you take action, which is what the medicine mother. I knew what to do in that circumstance. I knew I'm not going to put my kids at risk. I'm not going to put myself at risk, and I'm not going to engage this or put that other individual in risk. Who knows what could have happened, right? So you don't let things escalate. You set those boundaries up quickly, and you know when it's time to either walk away or engage in a well-mannered and temperate way. In those situations where someone's in a vehicle, that's like a weapon, right? Even if it's not a pew-pew, it's still like a weapon. So you have to be super careful not to engage in road rage situations, right? Even though you can feel that annoyance and anger rising in you, you're like, no, I'm not going to match that person's energy in that way, because that's not going to be the right answer in the circumstances. So that's the end of my story time. I hope you enjoyed that and maybe learned from that, and we can build a community here. And the fact that this card came up is about me, the community. It's just interesting, and but I suppose it's a call. If anyone wants to join this channel, we can continue to work with these stories and maybe move forward towards some spiritual engagement together. I do have a degree in philosophy, so this type of thing and philosophical stories, and I've done a lot of background healing of myself in order to get to a place where I can share some of my wisdom, maybe, and not thinking I'm a guru or anything like that, but because I really don't believe people should follow other people in a cult-like, narrow-minded fashion. You have to let that go. And I'll put a link to my book. You'll get it when you see my book. Please like and subscribe if you find this engaging, and I will continue to put my stories out there. Namaste and take care.